Finally, we will be learning about the future tense forms of the irregular verbs to be and to be able. We'll start with the verb to be, sum essa fui. Make sure that you have the chart for that verb in front of you as you go through this video. Just as in English, we're going to discover that in Latin also, the verb to be looks different in each of the present system tenses. In English we say I am, I was, and I shall be. So the verb form in English in the future tense looks completely different from the verb form of to be in the present and the imperfect tense. The one thing that's very different about the verb to be in English in the future tense is that it must include both a helping verb, shall or will, and then the basic form of the verb, which is be. So if our subject is I or we say shall be. If our subjects are you, he, she, it, or they, we say will be. And that's it. There are no other translations for the future tense of to be. If you remember the first and second conjugation endings for to be, you might remember that it ends with the letter O. It's stinky. Well, so does the future tense first person singular of to be end with the letter O, ero. You might also remember that the third person plural form of the first and second conjugation future tense endings is be, you, and t. We're going to see that you and t mimicked in the third person plural of the verb to be, erunt. So it starts with ero and it ends with erunt. And also if you think about your future tense endings for first and second conjugation verbs, you can remember that they all start with the letters B, I. This isn't going to start with B, but it is going to use the vowel I. Every form between ero and erunt will start with the letters ERI, and then you will attach the ending that represents each of the subjects. So we have ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. When you have finished writing them, you should say them with me at least one time. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. I do have a song to use as a mnemonic device for remembering the future tense forms of to be. It's a hybrid or a cross between If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands and the Mexican Hat Dance song. I'll sing it for you, and if you're bold enough, you can also try to sing along. It goes like this. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt is the future tense of the irregular verb to be. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. I'll sing again, and why don't you try to sing along, or at least clap. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt is the future tense of the irregular verb to be. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. If you add more claps, it sounds more like the Mexican Hat Dance song. If you put fewer claps in, then it sounds a little bit more like If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. Let's try one more time with fewer claps. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt is the future tense of the irregular verb to be. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritus, erunt. Cool. That's all there is to the irregular form to be in the future tense. One more thing. Our third person singular and third person plural will also have the alternate translation that we saw in the present tense and in the imperfect tense, but it will just have the future tense form of to be. So erit and erunt can both be translated there will be. It's because we don't make a distinction between singular and plural in the future tense. If you don't have these alternate translations for the third person plural written on your chart for the present and the imperfect tense, take a few seconds now and write those in so that you have them. You'll probably want to pause because I'm going to move right on to taking a look at the verb pasum, pasa, patui in the future tense. But let's sing our song one more time. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt is the future tense of the irregular verb to be. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt. Okay, now on to the irregular verb to be able. You should remember that this is built upon or has as its base the form to be. And so it begins always by writing the future tense forms of to be in whatever tense we are dealing with. And in this case, it's the future tense. So our base is ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt. We add to the base the letters POS or POT. Do you remember when we use POS and when we use POT? As you can see by looking at the forms, the POS is used only when the form of to be begins with an S. Otherwise, everything will start with the letters POT. So I've tried to say multiple times pati, so it helps us remember that. So we have patero, pateris, paterit, paterimus, pateritis, paterunt. When we translate this, we say I or we shall be able, and then we say for the remaining subjects, you, he, she, it, they are able. There's no form of can. You can't really make can into the future tense. We never say will can. Will can you? No, it just isn't part of our language. And so therefore we have only one translation for the future tense. That makes actually translating the future tense the easiest of all of the tenses because there is only one variation for both regular and irregular verbs for translating. The most cumbersome part of working with third conjugation the most cumbersome part of working with the future tense is remembering that with regular verbs there are two sets of endings, one for first and second conjugation and one for third and fourth conjugation. No song for possum. We remember the song for to be, and that should make it easier for us to remember possum. Let's sing the song for to be in the future tense just one more time. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt is the future tense of the irregular verb to be. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt. And if you like the Mexican hat dance version, ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt is the future tense of the irregular verb to be. Ero, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erunt. Have fun with it, and good luck as you progress through the flashcards that go along with the future tense, and then there is a comprehensive review set of flashcards for the future tense that will help you review first and second conjugation verbs as well as the irregular verbs. And when you are finished with those, you will have to go into Moodle and take a Checking for Understanding quiz. on all of the future tense forms for both regular and irregular verbs. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.